All right, so I got it recording.
All right. So we got to get a couple of topics to talk about. This is the first podcast, really. So just kind of trying to find our lanes, make sure we don't cross any boundaries.
Yeah. Oh no, man. Well, if we make it big one day and they go back to this very first podcast and they find something, we get canceled immediately.
I'm pretty sure that everyone runs the risk of that happening. But once you realize you're going to start making it big, you probably go and review this type of stuff.
They'll be looking at like the numbers of the podcast and they'll be like, yeah, it only goes back to number 2. What happened to number 1?
Just say it was canceled. Podcast number 1 was canceled.
It got taken down. YouTube censored us.
Yeah, dude.
They tried to shut us down right from the start. We've always been on the edge.
Could do kind of like an Alex Jones type of thing where you just go crazy on every podcast and just really push it. I don't know if we'd want to go as far as he did with like the whole Sandy Hook event thing.
Dude, Alex Jones got fined $1 billion.
I thought it was like a couple, like 40 million.
No, he got sued again and they fined him like another like 960 million or something.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Dude, Alex Jones is done for. I mean, there's no way he's ever gonna pay that.
Yeah, I guess not. Oh man.
And Alex Jones is pretty much owned by the Sandy Hook families. Like any money he ever makes is gonna be pretty much going to them.
Man, I feel like if that guy just had if he had a lane to stay in and he had a way of saying stuff a little better, he wouldn't be in the situation he's in. Because he had a couple of groundbreaking things that seemed to be logical, but it seemed like for every one groundbreaking like true event, there was like 5 or 6 that were just completely BS.
Man, I'll never forget the first time I saw Alex Jones. I think you were there.
Oh yeah, with the Pokemon Go.
It was during Pokemon Go, and he came out wearing a suit, holding an iPhone. He's like, Pokemon Go, more like government mind control.
Yeah, see, stuff like that. I mean, I guess we don't really know about those type of things, how much control they really had, but yeah, man, it seems like he took a stance and it was always extremely radical. And it's like, I don't know, with the whole Bohemian Grove thing, that was pretty crazy. That was like one of the few things that gave him any credibility.
Yeah, man, he uncovered that. He somehow got in there.
Oh yeah,
he acted like he was working there.
It's one of the few things that he did that was actually a pretty legit thing.
I mean, it's legit, but I don't know, man. That guy, he's just a little too crazy. You can never bring him up in like a regular conversation with someone and be like, how do you know? Like you're talking to someone about something crazy that happens. For example, Bohemian Grove. They're like, well, where'd you hear about this? You can't be like, well, Alex Jones. Well, listen, this was his one thing he got.
Yeah, that's the problem. I've tried to bring that up before, and they're like, Alex Jones, and it's like, the Sandy Hook guy.
Yeah, man. One of the people who's like high up at my work, he's like really into Alex Jones. Like he wears like InfoWars t-shirts to work and stuff. And like, man, I wanted to ask him what he thought about all the drama, but I don't know. He's like a really a crazy guy.
So I probably have a good answer for it in his head.
No, he would probably get really mad. He's like a guy who flies off the handle. Yeah, he's a guy. We could probably get him on this podcast and ask him about it on here. I'm just kidding.
Oh man,
No, no, there's no way. I would not. I avoid that guy.
he might lose control.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we don't want to do what Alex Jones did. And we definitely don't want to do what
Yeah.
Kanye did.
Yeah, he was kind of the same boat as Alex Jones, where I feel like he had some good ideas, and then he had ones that were just terrible. I mean, it's hard to even defend the guy for some of the stuff he's done. As much as I like Kanye, and I had a good amount of respect for him, but I feel like either it's a publicity stunt or he's just actually that crazy. I can't really tell.
Man, I don't know. I don't know what he's going for. I mean, I feel like I keep having theories throughout this, like, man, maybe Kanye's playing some crazy type of 4D chess, 5D chess, 6D chess, whatever. And, every time I'm just like, I don't know. When he went on Alex Jones and he was like, I love Hitler. And,
Yeah, well,
pretty much after that, I was like, I don't know. I mean, there's really, I don't know what he could possibly be trying to do.
I don't know, man. The whole Hitler thing was partially taken out of context. When you watch the whole thing, it makes a little more sense, but he used the worst possible example that
I don't know.
here's
Here's my most recent theory I had actually. So my theory is that Kanye, he's on the wrong side of things. I mean, just look at what he's done, who he's been with. Like, I have a hard time believing this guy's on the right side of things. So what if because like back in the day, all of the conspiracies went anti-Semitic. It was always like the Jews are controlling the weather, the Jews are doing this, Jews are doing that, and recently the conspiracies have gone more towards the government. It's like the government's controlling the weather. The government made COVID, the government, whatever. So what if Kanye's here to try and capture all the conspiracy theorists and turn them back on the Jews so they can just discredit everybody and be like, these guys are Nazis or whatever they want to say. How about that, man?
Oh man, I don't know.
Are we going too deep for the first podcast?
I guess all the old conspiracy theories were kind of more racist and stuff like that. Like they weren't really everyone against the government. It was more kind of like certain people against other certain people. Yeah. And the government was kind of out of the question for a lot of it.
Yeah. I mean, they probably, if that's kind of where the conspiracies are really coming from, then, it makes sense they'd want to kind of maybe turn people away. And it seems like it's worked, many conspiracy theorists are like fully on board with Kanye. They're like, he's right.
Yeah, dude. I've been seeing TikToks about Kanye and like they're like, he didn't put this out there in a good way, but look at the film industry and look at all the Jewish people that control it. And they go off about like all of your media is controlled by Jewish producers and stuff. And
yeah, man, it's a bunch of crap. He's trying to make people look dumb, and it's working because a certain percentage of people are dumb, and that percentage is big enough to make a whole movement look bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see it. That's the only angle I can think of that makes any sense. All the other angles are that Kanye's gone completely crazy and completely off the rails. And I mean, that's possible too. But I mean, like, for example, when he released that thing about his trainer getting him hospitalized, did you see that? The tweet he made?
Yeah.
Where he showed like the text messages from his trainer saying that he was going to like, have him locked up and medicated into a coma and he was never going to see his kids again or whatever. I mean, that's like exactly the type of thing that you would post if you want to get the conspiracy theorists to come over to your side. And it's like one of the easiest things ever to fake.
Yeah, I guess you have never heard from the manager's side, or at least I haven't.
I haven't either.
I think they said it happened once before too. I think they said the manager like tried to do it to him before or something.
Well, no, because Kanye did get taken in to a mental hospital at one point in his career.
Yeah, that's what I was reading about, but I didn't read deep enough to understand the whole situation.
I don't know. I could definitely see that, man. You release something like that, all the conspiracy theorists go over to you. And then you turn them on the Jews. You look. I don't think we're allowed to talk about all this stuff, but I don't know. It's the first episode. I just want to make it clear for the record. We think the Jews are awesome. You know, my girlfriend's Jewish. Jews are great.
Yeah, we got nothing against Jewish people. Just diving into the topic of.
No, we're going against Kanye on this one.
Yeah,
we're going against him from multiple different angles.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Hitting all the angles on it, just to see exactly what he could possibly be doing. But
and we gotta talk about it. But yeah, I think that's a good. I mean, that's the best theory I can come up with.
Man, one thing that I'm still wondering is the whole Andrew Tate situation, man. That if we're talking about like, you know, bombshells in the current media, that one is a big one that in the past week, it seems like it's kind of starting to get swept under the rug.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I haven't paid super close attention to that. I did look up Andrew Tate when it first happened and go see him because I don't know. I saw Andrew Tate years ago before anyone knew who that guy was, and he was just like a parody account kind of thing where he was just talking trash about women, but like it wasn't like legit. He was just kind of like parody. But so when he blew up, I didn't even know it was because he went by Cobra Tate back then, and so when I kept hearing about Andrew Tate, I was like, who the heck is Andrew Tate? And I saw a video of him. I was like, oh my God, that's Cobra Tate. Like I saw him way back in the day from the Your Mom's House podcast with Tom Segura. They're playing him way back in the day, making fun of him. I mean, like years ago.
Oh man.
Like he was talking about you can't drink sparkling water or something. Or if you don't drink sparkling water, you're a bitch or something.
Yeah, dude, he's got some pretty hot takes. I think he did equally as much good as he did bad. I think it all pretty much is on an equal scale because, yeah, I mean, some people took that stuff as like, as what's that word? Like the whole male dominance word. What's that? I can't even remember.
Patriarchy.
I guess it's kind of. Yeah, that's not what I was thinking, but it was like misogyny. Yeah, misogyny. So people were taking it as that. And that was bad. But then there were other people who were just like, yeah, you know what? I got to get my act together, start working out. He's right. You know, he's not sugarcoating it for me. I'm not living
you know
a good life.
What the theory on Andrew Tate is?
Maybe. I don't know.
People were talking. People think that they're trying to set him up to kind of be like the new Joe Rogan.
Oh.
Just kind of setting him up to kind of capture that type of crowd, but with like the younger generation. You know, his dad was in the CIA.
No, I didn't know that.
But I don't know. We don't want this to be a purely conspiracy podcast. But I mean,
yeah.
Really, yeah. No, look into it. His dad was in the CIA. He's kind of, you know, some of the things he's done is kind of looking questionable for him, you know? It's looking a little questionable. And this is the exact kind of crimes you see people associated with intelligence being, you know, accused of.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I you know, I don't I'm not gonna believe he's gonna go down until I see it, and I won't say like I know he's like bad or anything because I really don't. But those are not my theories, but those are the theories I heard when I was looking into this. Because I did look into it to see what was going on.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I think some of his takes were decent. Some of them were pretty hard to defend, but uh, I mean, overall as a whole, that's just a weird situation. There were so many weird things about it. When he was driving away in the SWAT van, they left the door open and like took a turn and slowed down into a
Well, that's
stop.
why I'm
And
saying, his dad's in the CIA. This could be like some whole kind of crazy setup here.
yeah, but you saw
It
that,
could
right?
be,
Where the guy was
yeah.
taking the photos, they stopped the van and like before they
This
closed
is
the door.
this is the kind of thing that always happens when they try to set up some stupid thing. I mean, that's the kind of thing that makes me think like, all right, cool.
Yeah, that seemed a little like, when you see it from that angle, I don't know. There was a lot of talk about that as well. They're like, is this a ploy? Like a marketing ploy or like a popularity
It could be,
ploy?
if they're setting them up to, kind of overcome Rogan. But then there's no way they even know that Joe Rogan's like not like captured or anything. I don't know. It's like you can't even really think about all this stuff too much, or else you'll like go crazy. But I will say,
Yeah,
Joe Rogan seems legit to me. It seems like they've really tried hard to take him out, but he kind of got in
yeah,
before things got weird, and he was already cemented by the time that they had the ability to cancel people. So it was a little too late.
yeah. He's
I don't know. I just try to go by Rogan. Like I've been even taking ice baths and everything. I feel like it's good.
yeah. I mean, that's something proven in like athletics. That's like a good practice because it kind of shocks your body.
Yeah, have you tried it?
And, I think it's just good to try like cold showers, but since we're in Texas, unless it's winter, uh, the showers aren't really under 70 degrees. But even cold showers, I can't handle those. I get in there and I'm like, whoo, no way.
Man, what you got to do is you got to get it in the bathtub and just sit in there, kind of start it on like semi warm, and get it like going while you're sitting in it. And as it's going up, just turn it all the way to cold, and it'll slowly go up. And then you're all the way underwater, and it's all the way on the cold. Then you have your ice next to the bath. Dump like two 20-pound bags in there, so you have 40 pounds of ice, and dump it in while you're already in there, and just sitting that, and you can handle it. You'd be surprised because it kind of
Oh man.
cools down slowly. It's a little
Oh
rough,
man.
but it's a little
I've
rough,
seen
but
videos. I've
it
seen
feels
videos
good.
of
You get
like
out, you really feel good.
that's what they say. They say it's terrible while you're doing it. You get out, you feel great.
You
But
get out and you're like you're red like a lobster, and your skin feels so cold. It's like this can't be good, and then it just heats back up. It's supposed to be really good for your circulation and stuff like that, but man, I don't know. It's been a couple weeks. I'll be honest, since I did an ice bath.
have you ever seen those people that do ice baths where they just put like a bucket or like not a bucket, like a huge bin of water outside and they're in like the middle of like Minnesota or something, and it's like you just go out there in the middle of the day and just smash open the ice and hop in. I've seen
Yeah,
videos of people doing that.
can you imagine if it froze back shut? Like you see how sometimes when they go outside with a cup of like coffee and they throw it in the air and it turns to dust. So if they went out on a day like that
Yeah.
and they got in and it just froze solid.
Oh man. They say that the hotter the water is, the easier it is for it to freeze though. So that's probably a good thing.
I don't
I
know.
don't know how that is.
Someone's gone out like that. No, I don't know.
You think so? Oh man, my screen's all glitching up. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just ignore it for now.
Can you
I
still
don't
hear
know.
me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. I can't really see you though.
Yeah, I can see you.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna keep going. There's like black lines that are like going. Oh, it looks terrible. I don't know what the hell happened, but
We got
it
too
looks like
close
it's
to the
going
truth,
down.
man. We got too close to the truth. We shouldn't have been talking about that stuff we were talking about.
Oh man, it just blacked out. Oh, I think it's back. Okay, yeah. Man,
Okay,
I
well,
thought for sure I was gonna lose it.
now you're frozen for me. Okay, you're back. Man. All right. Yeah. See, we got to stay off those certain topics.
Okay, yeah, okay, I'm back.
We got to stay off those certain topics.
Oh man.
Our just told me my internet connection is unstable. So I think we got too close to the truth. So I don't know.
Man.
How about, did you watch any of the football? Any of the football this weekend? First week of the playoffs in the NFL?
Oh man. I watched a couple of different segments of the
I'm
games. I
gonna be
didn't watch them
honest, I
start to
didn't watch
finish.
any of it. I shouldn't even have started talking about this. I don't know what I was thinking.
Uh,
That's just like the thing that you do when you're
dude,
a guy
but
and you don't
speak
know what to talk about. You just go straight to sports.
like, oh man, how about them Packers? No, I don't even think they're in the playoffs. And if they are, it must. But, yeah, I don't even know either. But dude, the Jaguars, I saw that they played the. I don't even know who they played, but it was a crazy comeback, and it was
Oh, the
24 to
Chargers.
0 at halftime. Yeah, it was
This is
24 to
terrible.
0 at halftime.
We shouldn't even be talking about it. But it was 27-0. Because
Oh man.
I was looking at the score on my phone. I didn't watch any of the game, but I was looking at the score, and I was like 27-0, game over. I was actually thinking, I was like, I wonder if they're gonna run it up as high as Georgia did on TCU. Wonder if this is gonna be like a 60-0 game or something. And
The Jaguars were the favorites.
I didn't even look until the next day, and I was like, what? The Jaguars won?
It's like an all-time comeback, like kind of like the New England Super Bowl comeback, except even better, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched it either, but there's Tom Brady's playing the Cowboys tonight, and I'm really hoping the Cowboys get knocked out. I don't even care about football, but I just know the Cowboy fans are the worst.
Yeah, well, you're down there in Houston, so if the Cowboy fans that are around you are the worst. It's like, you're in Houston, you have the Texans right there, but you're a Cowboys fan. It's not like the Cowboys have been good anytime recently. It's like you should be a Texans fan, but no, these people get there. They're always trying to be contrarians. They're trying to stand out, trying to be the Cowboys fan in Houston.
Yeah, they're usually problem makers too. Like they're troubling people. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's like you're just trying to be different, but not super different because you want to still stay in the state, but you're not. I don't know. It's like being a Mavericks fan as well. I mean, I could understand that though, is because the Rockets are so bad. But then again, the Texans are really bad too. So I don't know. Cowboys
Yeah.
fans overall though, like they seem to be like the most like belligerent type of people. They're aggressive. I don't know
Man,
if anyone else can relate to it, but
I'm starting to wonder if I'm like on a bad screen for this, because it's just like you with me like in the corner. Is this gonna be like all weird when I look at the video? Is it just gonna be like you giant and me tiny, or is it gonna be? I wonder if it's gonna be. Oh, hold on. Oh no, I don't know. What the heck?
it probably will be, man, because I think it just records like exactly what's on the screen. Wonder if you can like split it.
All right, I just put it on the split. Do you see what it looks like?
No,
You can't see it?
no, behind you, it looks like you're like in a green screen though.
So on my screen, it shows us both sitting next to a campfire.
Oh yeah, I got it now. Okay.
Okay, here we go. So we kind of
Man,
screwed up to start this podcast. No,
scratch that all.
we're gonna keep it. We'll keep it. But yeah, this is better. Man, now it looks like we're doing a real pod. This looks like the Joe Rogan Experience. Maybe even a nicer room. He doesn't have a real fire in his room.
Yeah, this is not a real fire. This is a fake fire, man. So we're just doing the same thing he's doing.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Yeah, man. But
Coors Light. Are you allowed to drink beers on YouTube? Are you allowed to drink beers on YouTube? You must be, man, right? People drink on podcasts all the time, man.
Yeah, I guess Joe Rogan does. He had Elon Musk smoking weed on a podcast.
Yeah. That was pretty bad for Elon, actually.
Yeah, I don't think he ever actually cared about it. Elon never seems like he cares.
Man, how could he? You know, everyone's like, he's losing billions on Twitter. I'm like, yeah, but he still has billions. Like, nothing's changing for him in his like everyday life.
Man, people really seem to have turned on Elon Musk. Like, it seems like he used to be so loved, and now everyone's like, man, something's up with that guy.
Man, I got banned from Reddit because of Elon Musk.
What the heck?
Oh, I said I liked Elon Musk, and I thought, I thought he could do well with Twitter. You know, people were freaking out. They're like, hey, this guy's gonna be terrible with Twitter. And I just commented. It wasn't even a reply. I just commented like, I'm glad he bought Twitter because it's kind of interesting. I think he could do well with it. And they banned me for saying that from that subreddit. And
from the subreddit. Okay.
Yeah. So they banned me for saying that. So I was on like a different account. I have like my conspiracy account, my regular account. So I went in there on my conspiracy account, and that I wasn't subscribed to this subreddit, but it just showed it on my page, and it was some totally random thing. And I just commented a joke on it. I don't even remember what it was. It's just like a really inconsequential thing, and they're like, oh, you commented on this from, and like, you're banned on your other account. You evaded the ban by using a different account, so they banned me from it. And even if I make any new account, it gets banned instantly. Like I can't use Reddit ever again.
Well, at least on that subreddit, right?
On anything, I can't. All of my accounts got banned.
Oh man!
All of them, even with different email addresses.
How do they know it's you?
I don't know. I was trying to look that up, and they said they don't release that information. So yeah, man, they pegged me, and I can't make anything new. Like I just can't ever use Reddit again. I'm done. I'm done. I think they got me. I think they baited me in. I might have got too close to the truth.
Man.
Like, what's crazy about Reddit though?
What?
You know who was the number one mod of all time?
Who?
Ghislaine Maxwell. She had the most karma out of anyone in the history of Reddit.
And I don't really know anything about her.
Well, we don't have to get into it. I don't know. I mean, people know. That's kind of too long a rabbit hole. But yeah, no, I'm done with Reddit. I'm out, and I think maybe they baited me in there by placing that subreddit there on my other feed just to get me the comment. And I'm done. I'm complete. But it's good. It's probably honestly for the best.
Yeah.
That's a waste of time. Now I can just go on Twitter with Elon owning it, and I can say whatever I want.
Yeah, there was something about like the people were saying that on Twitter that he was all about free speech, and they said he started banning a bunch of people who were talking bad about him. But I didn't ever know if that was true or not.
No, he did. He started banning people that he didn't like. He was like, "This is gonna be all about." But man, I mean, dude, he bought it for all that money. Like, it's a pretty funny thing to do. Just go in there and ban all these people that talk trash on you.
Yeah, that could be pretty funny.
For some people, that's like a career ender right there. Getting banned from Twitter. They're gonna have to get a real job.
Yeah, that would be rough, man, for some of those people. Thank God I'm not really on any social media, and I think once you get on it, it's too late, man. You get kind of wrapped in that stuff, and then you got people whose whole lives and careers revolve around like their social media accounts.
I don't know. You know, I got my accounts, but I like barely post anything. I go on, just check things out. Yeah, for me, I don't know. Maybe I was old enough when I got it that I didn't get like super wrapped into it. But it seems like a lot of the younger generation, like, I don't know, like people your age, like mid 20s and below, man, they're kind of, a lot of them are down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, man. I mean, the only one that I use, probably the worst one of them all, actually, is TikTok. But man, it's different than the other social medias. It's not about like seeing what everyone else is posting and like what's trending. It's more just like entertaining videos. But you got to be careful because you get stuck on that stuff, and they're short enough videos that before you know it, an hour's gone by and you're just scrolling. So
yeah,
and
TikTok,
they say it's evil.
It's almost too good. It is too good. Like you watch TikTok, they have you pegged immediately. They know exactly what you like. Like my TikTok is crazy. I think it says a lot about me because like, you know, everyone sees me, they think like I'm a pretty nice guy, pretty normal guy. I show them my TikTok feed and I'm like, these videos are great. And everyone I've ever shown has been like, oh my God, this is horrifying. Like people get scared when they see my TikTok feed. And I'm like, man, I thought it was funny. I thought it was cool. You know, I'm like, I thought I was a normal guy.
Yeah, but man, the TikTok's crazy, man. The For You page is so much different for everyone. Like if you open it, like
I mean, I open mine, it's like instantly, you know, people getting struck by lightning and hit by fire trucks. All
what? The heck, man?
But you know, sometimes there's some like cute stuff. There's like, you know, animal videos, but mostly a lot of mental illness.
Yeah,
fighting,
it's gotten really big.
A lot of fighting, and let's just say acts of God, like lightning strikes, trees falling down. I mean, you know, not good stuff.
Man, I never have really bad things show up on my For You page. It's a lot of just like.
Do you ever see a video and you're just laughing at it? And you know, you show someone and they're like, "Oh my God, dude, that's not funny. Don't show me that."
No, man. I might be one of those people in that case.
Yeah, see,
if
I don't
it's
know.
like someone dying or something, I don't want to be like, oh, yeah, I don't really want to see it.
Well, I don't think they usually die in the stuff I don't usually want to see someone die, but if they get hurt really bad, if it's like funny, you know, sometimes it's funny. Sometimes someone does something so stupid. Like there's a video online of some guy like jumping off of he's jumping off of a roof in rain boots, and he just lands on the ground with his legs totally straight. And they just like snap in half, both of them. And it's just like, dude, man, that's a horrific injury, but it's also like, what did that guy think was gonna happen in his head?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but man, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to see it either. It sounds funny to explain, and like maybe a cartoon of it would be funny, but seeing it in real life, I don't think I'd really want to see it.
I don't know. Yeah, honestly, that's what a lot of comedy is. I feel like at least a lot of the comedy that I think is funny is like something that's it's funny to talk about, but if it actually happened in real life, it'd be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like that. I guess that's a good example. Except not really because it did happen in real life, but if that didn't happen in real life,
yeah, maybe you just got to get into animation and think about these terrible things and animate them that way. Like,
well, I don't come up with this. This is just my TikTok.
what you should do is animate the TikToks, and then you'd be a freaking star on there.
Dude, I don't know how to animate. You think I'm going to learn how to animate? You know how hard that is?
Hey, I mean, you could get big, but man, I posted like one TikTok. Well, I posted like 4 TikToks, and then like one of them just blew up, got like 7. But okay, we had technical difficulties, but we're back. But like I was saying, yeah, I feel like TikTok might have known that I didn't use social media, and they just blew up one of my videos to try to bait me into producing some more content on their stuff. But I didn't take advantage of it at all.
You said you got 7 million views on that video?
Yeah, I got 7 million views and 1 million likes, and I didn't capitalize on that at all. I didn't post another video for like 8 months, and man, I thought like I should have capitalized and became a star, but man,
imagine if you could retire, just be like, yeah, my TikTok's bringing money in.
They say TikTok's like not the best version of revenue as well, like compared to YouTube and stuff. Like TikTok influencers, they say they get a lot of their money through like sponsorships and stuff.
Yeah, it's the same for everyone, really.
Yeah, I mean, but YouTube seems to pay like crazy good. Like everyone on YouTube always seems like they're making a ton. Like,
yeah, but like the biggest people are also doing tons of sponsors.
Yeah,
like man, did you see Mr. Beast on Lex Friedman's podcast?
I think I saw clips from it, but I didn't actually watch the podcast.
That's an interesting one to watch, because he's pretty much the most internet famous person in history. And he kind of goes into like, everything he does, his thought process. Like he's kind of a weird guy though. Like,
yeah.
In there, he's talking about things that are kind of weird, but he's like, it's totally normal. And he talks about it so normal that when you're listening to it, you're almost like, yeah, this is normal. But then afterwards, you're thinking back to what he said. Like one thing he says is, he goes, so when someone's going to work with me, I like to make clones, so it's almost like there's other versions of me. I get someone and teach them exactly what I like. They just follow me around every day, all day, watch all the videos I watch online, just do everything with me. And by the end of it, 9 out of 10 times, they'll make the same decision as me on everything. He's talking about that like it's a totally normal thing. It's like, man, that's really weird.
Yeah, and I saw him on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking about some crazy stuff like that. But he went at it from a pretty technical point and kind of made it happen. Like he's got like Spanish YouTube channels and stuff now.
Well, with Lex, it's even more technical because Lex is kind of like a bigger nerd.
Yeah,
so they get even more into it. And I don't know. He said basically you're gonna have to make 100 videos before you start getting like any type of following. So I was thinking about that. So if we do 100 episodes of this podcast, we do it once a week, in like 2 years, we can be there.
Yeah, if people like the content, we didn't get canceled by then.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know. This episode kind of went astray. Not gonna lie about that. I'm kind of nervous. It's just the first episode. I'm like, man, we probably shouldn't have gone so far into the conspiracies. A lot of people aren't cool with that.
Yeah, maybe not. But I mean, that's all part of the process.
Yeah. I feel like we started off pretty good. We started off in a pretty good place. We got a little bad in the middle. You know, we were just talking about kind of dumb stuff and it wasn't really that interesting. But, you know, we're learning.
We got to get the tail end right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, also we gotta come up with a name for the podcast.
oh yeah, that is gonna be tough.
I mean, what ideas do you have?
Yeah, man, I was thinking, but all the ones I was thinking of are like real plain generic, like D&K Productions. But I don't know, man.
Let's see. You do like KD something.
Yeah, but then
Like
everyone's
what?
gonna think of like Kevin Durant. I thought about that.
Yeah. What's something that would make him mad? Like if we blew up and we had something that sounded like it belonged to him and it wasn't him, and would get mad. No, I don't know. Oh, I don't think that's how we should decide to name it.
Trying to piss him off, and then get struck for our name once we actually get big enough to get his attention. Oh,
I don't know. Can you copyright a name like that? Initials? Can you copyright initials?
Probably. He's got a whole brand based off those initials.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess like H&M kind of got theirs copywritten.
You know, they say you should have your name in the title. So that kind of narrows it down a little bit.
Should have your name in the title.
The Wright Bros. The Wright Brothers. The Wright Brothers podcast.
The Wright Brothers. It'd be like, let's take flight in this episode.
Flight school. Yeah, at the beginning of every episode, you say, it's time to take flight.
Oh, man, that's terrible. Oh yeah, man! The Wright Brothers Flight School sounds pretty good.
We could do it. We could do anything really bad as long as we get really into it and do it with 100% commitment. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like a lot of people do that though.
And you could just check in and be like,
and you either do end up actually making it and people love you, or you end up as one of the people on mental illness TikTok.
Oh God. Yeah, just be like, all right, guys, let's take flight today. In this episode of Flight School, we're gonna be going deep.
Can you imagine we end up on like mental illness TikTok? They just show clips of us and they're like, look at these guys, it's the cringiest thing ever.
Oh yeah,
Oh man, because people who make those really cringy videos, when they make them, they must think they're good.
A lot of people make them like as a joke. Like there's a whole like basically like
I feel like I look like I'm like sideways. Like I look like I'm like I look like my shoulders are completely uneven. I look like I'm all screwed up and deformed.
Yeah, it's because of the mic, man.
Yeah, why is the mic like doing that? All right, if I get in just the right position, the mic stays in.
But yeah, I don't know, man. We just gotta capture. We gotta find a target audience too. I don't know if we had any target audience going into this. Like we kind of captured the conspiracy theorists and talked about like making a little bit of jokes about conspiracy theorist groups. And so that probably just turned all of them off.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you hopes that they can handle a little joking. We were only joking. We're not against conspiracy theorists. Like compared to the average podcaster, we're probably very pro conspiracy. Yeah. I mean,
I guess, yeah. Like kind of like I don't know. Joe Rogan's really into like even way out there conspiracy stuff. We're comparing it
Dude,
to him.
you know, you know something wild that I just found last night.
What?
You know who Dr. Drew is?
No, I don't know, Doctor
Oh
Drew.
man. Oh well, I just totally killed this. Dr. Drew is like a famous, doctor media personality. He's on the news a lot. He had like he's Celebrity Rehab, that was his show. He's I don't know, he's been in the media for a long time as like a media doctor, but he's like a legit doctor. And you know, he's been around forever. And man, I just found out last night that Dr. Drew has an anti Jax podcast.
Anti-Jax?
Do you know what I mean? That you something you can't that you definitely can't say on YouTube.
I don't. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was trying to figure out what you were talking. Yeah.
And I was like, man, and he was going really hard in the paint. I was like, holy crap. It made me
what was it
scared. I thought I
on?
was gonna die.
It was like his website or something.
It was just on my podcast website. No, I just
Yeah,
have
man.
since I have Android, I don't have like Apple Podcasts, so I just have a random podcast app that I use.
Man, that subject can get people in big trouble.
Man, he was going so hard, and I couldn't believe it because he was a big proponent at first.
Yeah, man. There's some weird stuff going on about people on the fence about either side and people.
Yeah, see, we probably definitely shouldn't get into that on our first episode.
Yeah, it seems like there's a little bit of bad in both sides, and there's really no right answer on that. You can't get the page on a good note with that. So I don't know.
Just some of
That's
the
probably
papa's
something not
herb.
even
Move on.
that
But,
that's something not even good to talk about on like the 100th episode, let alone the first. So on to the next note.
so yeah, the papa's herb. He got in from California. Remember, I was in California in November. I went out
Yeah,
there.
I think I do remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
went out there for a show, and I bought I bought all this stuff thinking like, I could probably finish this in one day. So I bought like 3 cartridges, and I was like, I could bring these back on the airplane, no problem. And like they're not gonna say anything. But I bought like a bunch of joints. I bought like 5 joints. I was like, we can finish this in one day. I was only there for a day. It's like, we'll finish this before we leave. And there are joints that were like top shelf flour, rolled in wax, rolled in keef. Smoked one of them, and I was so high. I was like terrified. We went into this like food center, like a food court, just basically like a big giant food court in downtown LA. And I was so high in there. I was so scared. We just had to go sit at a table. And I remember there was a cop sitting right behind us at the table. And I was just kept telling myself, I was like, it's illegal here. You're good. Like you didn't do anything wrong. It's illegal.
Oh God.
And I was so scared just sitting at this table, like panicking. Man, I was so high. I was kind of like having like an out of body experience. I was so high. And so yeah, eventually came down. Everything was fine. But yeah, I had 5 of those joints that I thought I was gonna finish in one day. And I was like, man, I can't get rid of these. And so I just like looked up on Google. I was like, can you bring weed on the airplane? And they're like, yeah, you can, but we wouldn't recommend it. Like, they're not going to say anything to you in LA, but you might get caught when you land. And I was like, I've never seen any type of security when I get off a plane, so I'm gonna chance it. So we brought all the joints. So I ended up having like a joint or like 5 joints and 6 cartridges in my bag. I'm just going through security and I was like, man, I was panicking a little bit, but just went right through. Man, brought it on the plane.
Man, that sounds bad. I would not be risking it like that, but and that's just because I've already had some run-ins, and I don't want to. I don't want to kind of rekindle that.
Well, I mean, I was pretty worried about it, but I did look it up online and they said it was fine. So, I mean, I just went with it. I was like, all right, we're good. We're good. I'm just going to act, you know, if they say anything, I'm going to act like I didn't know.
Man,
Imagine I'm like in security and they're like pulling me into like one of the back rooms. And I know I'm going down in flames. I tried to bring drugs on an airplane. These are some serious charges.
yeah, man, that's the thing. Like when you're in an airport, everything's magnified by like 2 or 3 times, like whatever it is. But
except weed, apparently.
yeah, I guess, man. The last time I went to Colorado, we were in the airport. We had some edibles that we forgot we had on us, and we were going like about to go through security, and we freaked out. We were like, "Oh God, we either got to eat all these or throw them all away." And so I think we
Dude.
like did half and half. We ate a bunch of them and threw the rest away. And man,
Dude, you should have brought those.
yeah, dude, I didn't know. Dude,
You
we
guys
kind of went
definitely
through the
would think it
same
with
thing.
edibles.
We went through the
Edibles?
same thing you did.
It's not like they can read the package through the X-ray.
Yeah.
They can see the shape of it, but they're not going to be like, they're not going to care. Those guys, like, you know, I used to think like TSA was like so official and like, you know, really serious. And then one of my friends who I worked with back in the day at Whole Foods, he was like a total scumbag and he got hired for TSA. I was like, what? I was like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
You know, like this guy. So I don't know. And then I started when I went through airports looking at TSA a little differently and kind of looking at what those guys looked like. And, you know, you realize like, oh, these are just like very regular people. You know, this isn't like these aren't serious people. These are people just doing like a not high paying job. Like I didn't realize that TSA pays like $14 an hour or something.
Yeah, but you always got that one guy who's trying to really do his job well, trying to work his way up the TSA ladder.
Go in a different line. No, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you do have to worry about that guy. You can kind of spot him too when you're going through.
Yeah, dude, like there have been times I think in that Colorado trip where we ate all those edibles, when we were going through, we they started to hit and we were going through security and there was like this one guy just yelling commands and it freaked me out. He like and he was talking really fast and like someone in front of me didn't do it right and he yelled at him and I was like, oh man. And it's like he was just saying like shoes, belts, everything off, laptop, different container. And then like I made it up there and I was like, I hope I did everything right.
Dude, think about that guy. Everyone coming through is probably really high. They probably all are on edibles. And he's yelling at people and everyone's freaking out.
Yeah,
like the person you saw that messed up and got yelled at, they were probably high.
Yeah, man, it was terrible. He was killing everyone's vibe, man. He was just lowering the vibrations in the room.
Imagine being that high and trying to go through. He's like, I mean, you don't have to imagine. You went through.
Yeah,
imagine
terrible.
if he yelled at you.
Yeah, he was kind of like a menacing guy as far as like he took his job serious. That's a guy who I feel like if you had something going through like what you had, he would not let that fly.
Yeah, I don't know what the rules are in Colorado. Actually, I would say edibles are probably all right. I don't know. The only reason I even tried it and did this was because when I just looked it up online and it said that it was fine.
Yeah, that's that that experience there kind of led me straight after that.
Well, I would say in LA you're probably fine. In Colorado, I don't know. I have to look it up.
It seems
I
like
would still
Colorado's.
bring edibles. I don't know. I've brought um someone I know has brought weed on the plane from Utah.
Yeah, that's not
Well,
smart.
cartridges, not straight up weed, but cartridges.
Yeah, still, that's not. I mean, you don't want to risk it because in Utah, I feel like that's where people would carry, and it's a felony.
No, it's not a felony here.
Oh, it's not.
In Texas, it is. Man, you guys are stuck in the Stone Age.
Yeah, there
Here,
have been
it's
people that have gotten screwed.
dude. Here, it's no big deal. Dude, there's a dispensary like a block away from where I live. A huge one. We got medical, and it's like as easy to get the medical here as it was in California back in the day.
You just
Like
go in
you,
there and be like, "Oh, my back."
yeah. I mean, not a lot of people do it because, like, I don't know, people just get weed however they want here. But I've known people who have gotten like their medical cards, and they didn't really have any problems.
Well, yeah, man, I guess it's not a bad idea as long as you don't want. If you don't want to get busted and go to
It's not
jail
like
and all
Texas.
that.
I don't know. In Texas, I'd be a lot more worried about it, man.
Yeah, that's
Especially with cartridges. It's a felony down there, man. I wouldn't mess around with it down there.
yeah, that's the problem. They was like, man, in college it was so big because it's like, oh yeah, no one smokes in their dorm room. That's like an instant, like that's a way to get caught easy. But the cartridges were so simple and like everyone had cartridges. But like if you got caught with one, I knew a couple people, well not a couple, like one or two, they got caught with them and they went down, man. But like as long if they were on campus, usually they were okay. The campus police would like cut them deals and stuff. But like yeah, there were people that got actual felonies because they got caught by like the actual police department, and they're like they got taken in, went to jail, had to like post bond and crap. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, man, it's bad down there. Like, you know, Texas has seemed like such a free state because the whole pandemic thing, everything went like, as far as like the pandemic rules, you do whatever you wanted. But man, in like non-pandemic, Texas is not one of the freest states.
Yeah, not
Although there
necessarily.
is kind of like a vibe of freeness down there that's nice. Like, you can get screwed
Yeah,
over legally, but when you're down there, you do feel free, and everyone kind of does.
yeah. People kind of do whatever they want, but every time on occasion people get caught. But it's like
People get screwed. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that happens anywhere.
yeah. I don't know. I think it's a pretty awesome state. But there's definitely some discrepancies in the.
If Texas legalized weed, man, that would be like the place. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
They would like take over the country.
yeah.
No,
It'd
I
be
don't know.
pretty.
Maybe is this getting too Texas centric? A lot of people don't like Texas. Should we not talk about this?
Man, I don't know why people don't like Texas. It's like,
Well, they think they got people killed in the pandemic.
yeah. Well, I mean, that was like a person by person basis, depending on who you ask there. So I don't think we'd be caught in the crossfire there.
We're alienating half the people. We got to pander to
Uh,
these viewers, man. We don't have anything going for us right now.
Yeah, we're cutting ties with everyone as we go. Make good bonds and then just destroy them in like 10 minutes.
No, I don't know. Maybe we just gotta say whatever we want to say, and hopefully, man, what if we're just really unlikable? Hopefully, people like us, but what if people just think we're crazy?
Yeah, what if they're just like, these guys are trying so hard not to offend anyone that no one likes them? They're catering to every audience.
All they do is say really offensive stuff, then they go back and take it all back. So the people who would go with that stuff don't like them. The people who won't go with that stuff don't like them.
Yeah, that might be it. It might be like, oh my God, I can't believe they're saying this. And then they're like, oh, and now they're going back on it? Really? And then the people who are with it are like, finally, it needed to be said. Then you're like, well, hold on.
You know, it's even worse if we're talking about the stuff we're saying and we're talking about it being like this crazy. And we're like, oh, people can't handle this. And people listen to it and they're like, it wasn't crazy at all. These guys.
Yeah.
See, that'd be even worse, man. If we keep apologizing and they're like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how bad is anymore. Seems like some people can get away with a lot, and then other people can't catch a break. So,
well, we just gotta be authentic from day one. I feel like we've been, authentic enough today. I had like Google opened up on my other screen. And I thought like maybe we'd be talking about like some smart stuff and having to like look things up and be like, oh yeah, or we like doing some research or talking.
Google opened up, ready to go.
and we didn't go anywhere. Everything was pure conjecture. We talked conspiracies, didn't look anything up, didn't prove anything. we just said some stuff.
Kind of said our thoughts and moved on.
We totally trashed some people and some ideas. I don't even remember exactly what we said, but I know it wasn't the best. And
man. But I don't know if anyone will make it this far, man. So we might be out of the censorship area where we can say whatever we want at this length of the video.
Okay. Well, if anyone did make it this far, then we thank you. Come up with a name. It's probably gonna maybe call it like the Kieran and Dylan podcast. I don't know. No, wait. What was it? Wright Brothers Flight School. We came up with a name.
All right, right. I was about to say, man.
The Wright Brothers Flight. Like, I told you I didn't remember anything we talked about.
Yeah, man.
Okay, the Wright Brothers Flight School. Man, doing a podcast is weird. I feel like I'm just kind of talking and like I don't even know what's coming, what's going. And I don't remember any of it. And it could be really bad. Now I see why people get on podcasts and are like, oh God, what did I say? You hear people say that sometimes, and I'm like, how do you not know what you said? Yeah, I don't know. This may have been a disaster. I don't know. We can try again next week, episode 2. But this is episode 1 of Wright Brothers Flight School. And I'm Kieran.
And I'm Dylan.
And we're signing out. Take care and please come back next week.